Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Appreciate you being here, and pretty normal day in the shop, I guess. I'm doing a bunch of heat treating still, and I might get to some finish grinding today. I'm not sure. Probably, we'll see. But I am going to show you guys this. It's a knife sharpener, and I've actually never done a review on this channel. So at various different times, I have customers ask me about knife sharpening. What do I use? What's the best thing to use? This kind of thing, which is a natural question you would expect. And as somebody who makes knives and sharpens them and uses them, yeah, I would expect people to expect me to know that, and I want to know myself. So tell a little bit of a story. The reason I got into knife making in the very beginning was because I enjoyed using knives primarily in the context of outdoors, you know, primitive wilderness living skills, that kind of thing. That's how I got into knife making. And so the context of having a good knife, being able to use a good knife in the woods or wherever, and that's important. And so being able to maintain that knife, keep it sharp as needed, so on and so forth, it's all part of the context of where this whole thing started for me. And it still is today. So one of the things that I have, you know, kind of searched for over the years is a portable, effective knife sharpener. Now, I've never used this before, so this is going to be good for both of us. All right, so let's jump right into it. First of all, this is a DMT knife sharpener, and I paid $12.71 for it after tax and everything off of Amazon. They are a pretty good company. There's other diamond knife sharpeners out there. Honestly, I haven't really compared them. That's not what this is about. But they have different grit levels, if you will. And the color coding they have lets you know which grit this is, and this is extra fine. They have fine, they have coarse, and then looking at the back here, they have extra coarse and so forth. So you can get a range of sharpeners from these folks that allow you to, you know, really remove material at that bevel on the blade down to just some honing, which is what this is. So the reason I got the extra fine is because what I'm after is a maintenance option for my knife. I'm not looking to reprofile the bevel on the edge. That's rarely necessary. What we're talking about is, you know, you're out using your blade, and eventually every knife gets dull, and then you have to sharpen it. And so what's a portable, effective option is what I'm looking at. So extra fine, it's for honing, it's for maintaining that edge, which is what we do 90% of the time on a good knife, that's not being beat on rocks and stuff. So yeah, so they have some information on the back here. You don't have to use oil, you can use these dry. It says place edge optimal sharpening angle. Doesn't tell you what that is. It's going to be different for different knives, and you know, you have to learn how to do that by experience. This stroke edge forward. Now this is interesting because this is how I prefer to sharpen knives. It's not the only way to sharpen knives on a stone, but apparently DMT feels that's the most effective way to use their sharpeners, and that's good to know. They've got some comparison of the diamond particle distribution and population on their product versus other products they call imitators. You know, that's fine, whatever. There it is. That's it. So it's a credit card size sharpener. So let's open it up here and have a look at it without hurting myself. And of course, the little pouch it comes with has the color coding for the appropriate grit, which, as I mentioned, is super fine. I don't know if, yeah, that is. So it's a single side. So that is the side, and it looks smooth. Probably it's you can feel it. It's a little bit rough. It is very fine, as you would expect. Diamond sharpening card. So there it is. Okay, so I think it's important to point out that portable knife sharpener those are kind of two contradictory terms, particularly if you're talking about traditional style stones, even if they're diamond, for the abrasion. Because when you're using a stone, and the stones that I normally use are tabletop, you know, they're not the big ones. You can get bigger ones, and you can get holders for the stones and all this kind of thing. But the way you're using the stone is you're drawing the knife edge along the surface of the stone, and that requires some kind of stability on that edge to do that. Obviously on the tabletop it's a lot simpler, it's a lot easier. When you're talking about a portable deal here, I don't know if I could set this on the table. Maybe if I put some sticky something underneath, I could probably do that. But if you're out in the woods, you know, if you're out camping or whatever, being able to just sharpen your knife real quick without having to do that, that's kind of the idea. So how is this going to work? So I mean, so you're kind of, you're finding a happy medium between portable and effective. Is it the ideal sharpener? I can tell you that right now, it's not the ideal sharpener. Is it the ideal sharpener for backpacking or hiking or camping? That's what I want to find out. So I'm just gonna. Okay, so I'm holding it in my fingers. Obviously, the inherent danger with doing it like this is my fingers and my thumb are hanging over the edge, and if I'm not careful, I can cut my finger or thumb, which would be not good, especially if you're out in the woods. But let's just do a few passes on here and see how it works. So you can certainly, with discipline, you can obviously get the entire edge of the knife drawn across the surface of the sharpener effectively. And obviously there's a little bit of metal dust coming off of there, as you would expect, not very much, which is the idea. So yeah, I mean, you have to be careful, and this is only a 3.5 inch blade. Let's keep that in mind too. You get up to a 6-inch blade, 8-inch blade, it's gonna be a little more difficult to, effectively draw the entire knife edge across this sharpener. It's still possible, still doable. You just have to be careful. So that's one inherent drawback to this size of sharpener. And obviously we'd assume that the advantages outweigh the drawbacks in order for us to carry this and use it. Very light, I will say that. It's going to be very portable, that's for sure. No issues there. But it's certainly, okay, so it's certainly doing the trick. It's not going to give you a stropped edge, obviously. For true honing, I'm looking at this packaging here, and they actually have a extra fine, and that might be even a better choice. I don't know. This might be this extra fine might be a good compromise if you're just going to carry one. It's not quite honing per se, but it's obviously also not a super coarse, aggressive stone. If you needed to, for some reason, take a little more material off the bevel of your blade for some reason, you'd want it. You'd rather have this one than the extra fine. These are so light and small, I could see carrying a couple of these, quite honestly. So what about a hatchet? Can you sharpen a hatchet? Yes. Yes, we can. Again, it's just important that you take care not to cut your finger. I don't know. I mean, let me try putting it on a flat surface here and seeing if I can effectively sharpen like that. Okay, so it's just sitting there. I don't know. Let's stick this under there. Is that going to help? I don't know. Let's try it. No, that's going to move. Let me get something else here real quick. Okay, so I have this piece of anti-slide, you know, the stuff you put in your kitchen cabinets or drawers. And I use for my bigger stones. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. It's just too smooth and too light. It doesn't want to kind of dig in and get any purchase. So let's try something else here. That's working. All right. Yeah, that's better. That's a lot better. Okay, so what are my thoughts? Just preliminary, having used it a little bit and having used other sharpeners quite a bit too. The first drawback, probably the biggest drawback that I see, my biggest complaint, or con, or whatever you want to call it, is inherent to the design, i.e. the size and nature of this, and the portability. It's inherent to that. But that is just the security during use, okay? Holding it in your hand like this is dangerous. You can cut yourself. And it also is a lot more difficult to maintain, can be a lot more difficult to maintain that edge, especially if you're not practiced at it. And so maintaining that angle as you're sharpening, which is really important to getting a good sharpening, getting good results and a good edge on your blade. So, you know, with practice, I think it's, you know, certainly doable, certainly effective, but that is a necessary evil to this particular sharpener. I think perhaps the best way that this could be utilized is to glue or epoxy it to a little board or something. You know, that's half again, or the same length again as long, to put this in the middle. Something that'll give you more purchase, that you can set it on something hard or flat. I think that would be probably the best way to utilize this. And I mean, that's going to add quite a bit more bulk to this sharpener, so why not just get a bigger sharpener? That's a very valid argument. So how would I use this without making it bulkier and sort of eliminating the whole purpose for it? The tape thing worked pretty good. You know, are you going to carry tape around in your pack for this? I don't know. I guess those are your options. You know, get comfortable and proficient with it like this, which is going to be a little more difficult, or figure out a quick and easy method of setting this on a secure, somewhat level at least, surface. It doesn't have to be level, it just has to be secure so that you can adjust to that angle and then maintain it. I would personally prefer to strop it after using this, and that's pretty easily done with a piece of leather and some polish compound, which is something that's a little strop isn't too bulky or heavy to carry if you wanted to do that. Would I buy it again? At this point, yes. I think the portability, the effectiveness, if you can get it secured properly, outweigh the cons of it being difficult to secure properly. That's just the nature of a small portable sharpener, unfortunately. I'm trying to think, like, you know, they have those little, there's got to be something you could like stick to the back of this. Velcro? Maybe Velcro. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. Even if it was just the one side of the Velcro, like the hook side, that would allow you to stick it onto a number of different surfaces I'm gonna have to try that. I don't know if I have any Velcro, but I'll have to try that. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll put a link to this in the description. So appreciate you guys watching, as always, and I'll see you in the next video.